Hi, so welcome. We are here today. We're joined here today with Jimmy, who has recently hit his profit target on the $15,000 account here at AudaCity Capital. So why don't you start off, Jimmy, by just introducing yourself, let everybody know who you are, and a little bit about yourself and your trading background.
Yeah, my name is Jimmy. I'm Jimmy Charles. I'm originally from Haiti, but I've been in the States now for a little bit. And then I currently live in Florida. So that's pretty much where I live now. And I've always have interest in trading. I started with the stock market first because I always wanted to know, what's behind the stock movement and everything. So I pretty much self-taught myself how to understand the stock market as far as reading companies' balance sheet and also what's driving the price of a stock.
Okay, brilliant, fantastic. So when did you get into Forex then? What kind of drove the change from stock trading over to Forex?
Yeah, that's interesting because I have a brother that lives in Miami. And then one day he called me, he's like, well, Jimmy, I found something I think that you're gonna really, really like. I was like, what is it? He's like, it's Forex. I was like, what? Guys, Forex exchange. And I said, okay, tell me more. So he said, do you have time this afternoon around 5? I will explain Forex to you in 10 minutes. I was like, no, there is no way. If something sounds that complicated and you can explain it to me in 10 minutes, okay.
For sure.
But I always had an open mind about everything.
Absolutely.
So he called me up and then he's like, well, this is what Forex is about. And then, it's really about, understanding macroeconomics of two countries. If when you trade currency, it's about two countries. And then I was like, oh, okay, that sounds really interesting because I've always have a curious mind.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, it's something. And then he showed me, MT4 and how price movement and everything. I was like, let me go ahead and watch some YouTube videos and actually buy some books to know more about it.
Yeah.
So that's how it came about. And then the funny fact, I tried demo account only probably two weeks or so.
Yeah.
And then I opened an actual live account with Forex.com with only $50. I was like, $50, that's kind of, if I were to go to dinner by myself, I could spend that much money. So, so that's pretty much how I started. Let me think. I started, he told me about that fall 2018. And then I really started dig into it in 2019.
Okay. Brilliant. So you've been trading Forex quite a while then. Do you have experience with, what about your experience with prop firms? When did that first start?
To tell the truth, I was never a fan of prop firm just because I didn't understand it, like why and all the metrics, all the parameters you have to respect, because I felt like trading my own money and setting my own rules and don't have really a deadline about anything. That I really like that freedom from trading my own account. But prop firm, what I like about prop firms, it gives you is the capital that's available to you. Then you can kind of create your own plan based on that. And then like the reward of trading for a prop firm, it's really bigger. Like if you don't have a lot of capital to start your own, not your own firm, but if you don't have a lot of capital to start with.
For sure. That's kind of quite a common misconception, is the amount of capital that you actually need to be able to do it consistently professionally. You need a very large amount of capital behind you to be able to consistently trade, to make consistent profits. It is something that, trading professionally and trading for a living certainly isn't, it's not possible to do on a small account. So I think that's a very good point there. So let's speak a little bit about your time with us then. So obviously haven't actually been with us for a particularly long time. You actually have hit your first profit target with us within, I think it was 17 days, which is actually very impressive. And you've only ever actually been trading really one currency pair. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Obviously, tell us the currency pair that you trade and what is it about this currency pair that's so interesting to you?
Yeah, thank you for saying that I reached my target so fast. Actually, I'm not a scalper. People would think that well, I've reached my target in 17 days is because I scalp a lot.
Yeah.
Not at all. The way I trade, not really go into the details of what I do.
Yeah.
I actually, it's not a one thing for me. It's fundamental, it's technical, it's sentiment analysis, it's inter-market analysis, and also the plan that I have when I trade. So when I look at the chart, there's a lot of things that I've already written down on a piece of paper that I actually follow. So the pair that I trade is GJ. The reason I play GJ is because as a trader, you always have to look for volatility. So I know it's one of the hardest pair to trade, but I like it just because I understand the ins and out of it, and I also see the fluidity of it too. So that's the main reason why I do it. But as far as entries and technical analysis, that's the last thing that I do.
Okay.
That's the last thing that I do.
Okay, fantastic. And what do you think the benefit for traders can be from trading just one specific pair? Because you clearly focus your attention and your time on one specific currency pair. Obviously, there are so many different asset classes and there's so many things that you can trade. It can be easy to get caught up in all kinds of different markets. What do you think the benefit is from just focusing on one?
I think the benefit is it's like marrying to your wife, right? Or having one girlfriend. So having that one thing you focus on all the time, so it's easier to understand the behavior of that thing, right? So for me, when I look at a GJ chart, since I've been looking at it the whole week, and then like one of the things I do, I evaluate myself every week, and I also do something that's called midweek analysis on Wednesdays to see from Monday to Wednesday night where I have failed, where I've succeeded, and then I go back and correct those mistakes for Thursday and Friday.
Okay, so do you journal then? Do you keep a record of everything?
I do.
Brilliant.
I think that's one of the most important things. If you really want to be successful, and if you really want to understand the behavior of the pair you're trading and also your performance, you have to be able to look yourself into the mirror, which is really having a trading journal. Like I have an Excel spreadsheet that I track everything that I trade, and it's especially the amount at the end of the day. So I know I had a certain goal for the day, and then if I was below that goal, or if I have exactly met the goal that I had in mind for that day. So it's really hard, but at the same time, if you really want to be successful, you have to be very disciplined.
Yeah, I agree.
As far as a trader, so.
For sure, no, absolutely. I think that is a really, really valuable point, the one that you make around journaling. Journaling is, not particularly fun. It's, it's quite boring. It's not the sexy part of trading, but it's so crucial for your, looking back on yourself, looking back on your own performance in terms of, did you make any mistakes? Did you stick to your trading plan? It's crucial. It is, all well and good saying, oh yes, I remembered myself doing this and I made this mistake here. But if you don't keep track of all of it, it's very hard to sit down at the end of the week, month, 6 months, year to really assess, what things did you do well and what things do I need to work and improve on. So I think that's a really fun, really important point that you make there. Would you credit a part of your success to that discipline, to that journaling?
I believe so. And, I actually lose too. When I lose, I call my brother. I was like, I think I'm going to sleep right now, because that's one of the way for me to cope. Yeah. Because, when you have a plan and it, the market goes against you, then you are on a losing streak and you don't know why. So I think the best thing to do, what I've done is I close everything and then I sleep for like 20 minutes just to reset. Okay. Then I have fresh eyes and look at the chart again. And since I've put everything on an Excel spreadsheet, and I was like, okay, well, the reason why I made this mistake is because sometimes the market is trending, right? So I would always try to have a reversal trade, which always goes against me. So I was like, well, maybe I have to listen to what the market is telling me instead of me trying to force trade when I want the market to go.
Absolutely, 100%. No, that's again, that is another really good point there that you mentioned about taking a break, taking time away from the screens. If things, aren't going your way, again, as I'm sure you're aware, psychology plays a massive role in, in our success and our failure as a trader. And keeping that under control is something that's fundamentally important to your consistency and to your success. Now, like you say, one way you personally get a hold of that is by just taking a break, taking a 20-minute nap, going away from the charts, and then you can come back refreshed. I like to go for a walk, so I'll go out for half an hour, 45 minutes, and I'll just go for a walk, and then I come back. And if I'm still feeling, not in the right frame of mind, then I will just shut the charts down and I won't trade for the rest of the day. So that's a really good point there. So what about your experience so far, with AudaCity Capital then? Yeah, obviously haven't been here for a massive period of time. Like I said, you hit your target within 17 days. How would you sum up your experience with us, the prop firm, so far?
Well, thank you for the question. I'm very pleased. Also, my brother talked to me about AudaCity. He's like, well, I think you'll like that company because they're very personable. Yeah. They also like the price of entry, even though it may be expensive at first, but the monthly payment, it's something it's durable, and it also it's affordable. So I was like, let me look into it, because I wasn't a fan of paying the monthly payment, but when I look at the conditions of it, the reason why behind the monthly payment, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Exactly. And also the price doesn't vary when your account get double, so it's still the 99 euros a month. So, and also, like, every time I have a question, I email one of the team members. They are always there for me. Brilliant. Yeah. So I really like that about AudaCity Capital.
That's great to hear. Yeah. I think that's a really important point that you make about the fees that are involved in the program. It's really important to look at the package and what you're actually getting in terms of a service from your proprietary trading firm. Like you mentioned, with us, that covers all of the fees involved. The £99 monthly fee covers all of the costs of your trading. There's no kind of commissions, no swap fees. And again, when you have your account doubles, that's something that's really going to affect you. When you get up to 30k, 60k, 120, if you are paying commissions and swaps on those kind of account sizes, that's going to be something that really kind of does eat into your profits, and something that will affect you in the long run. So how do you think, you've obviously been trading for a good few years now, which is brilliant. So how do you think that trading itself has impacted your personal life?
For me, it's take it slow, don't rush, don't think you're too smart. Yeah. And then, be patient with yourself. Be patient with the process, because everything that's worthwhile is going to take time. So, when it comes to, it's really also making yourself better as a person, because as a trader, you have to be patient. You have to know how to wait. You have to know, say, well, I'm not that smart, let me learn some more, buy books, and be open-minded to even some YouTube videos, because I've watched that, even some YouTube videos that I've watched before, I went there and watched them again. I've got some people that I follow on YouTube too, so that helps me a lot.
Brilliant. Is that something that you use a lot in terms of YouTube for content for your trading? Is that something that is a good resource for you, would you say?
I would say 50% of it, but I've got a lot of books that I ordered online. Like I started with books, then I found some people on YouTube. Not everybody is good, but the reason why, the way you can make the difference between the good and the bad ones. If you see somebody's talking about making money fast or $20,000, you don't want to trade, I don't see how that can be consistent. But if you see somebody that's talking about believing the process, understanding yourself, understanding, you cannot trade one market in a bubble, because everything is so connected in the world. So you have to understand all of intricacies, in the market. So those people, I would advise somebody to follow.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's the difference, isn't it? For someone who is an actual trader and someone who understands trading, who understands that it's about the journey, it's about the process. It takes a lot of time and a lot of dedication to get to a position where you are able to produce consistent profits. Exactly that. Again, that's a very good point. So do you have a particular book or something that you would potentially recommend to traders out there? Or
actually I have one right now in front of me. It's called All About Forex Trading. I don't know if people can see it.
Okay.
That's really good. That's what I started with. And then I started with that book, and I've got probably 10 more books at home, where I'm right now. Yeah, because I believe that you have to have the basis. You have to have the basics, and you have to master that. It's not only just reading it, and then why the market is doing what it's doing. So in your mind, if you always, like for instance, every morning, because what I do my fundamental analysis first, then I always look at the chart and saying, okay, why is the chart moving the way it's moving? Why the chart is not moving? And why is it trending up? Why is it trending down? Why is it ranging? So if you're always asking why the market is doing what it's doing, then you will have more of an open mind to learn, or actually to listen what the market is telling you.
Perfect. Very good. Very good. Fantastic. Do you have any advice for any traders out there?
For beginners trader, I will say, don't rush it, and don't overtrade. Like, learn each trade by itself, and then focus on one pair so that you can know the ins and out of it, the behavior of the pair and why it's doing what it's doing. And then for intermediate traders, don't ever stop learning, and I'm pretty sure the advanced traders know that too. So it's really all about the journey.
Absolutely.
And then over time, you will be okay.
For sure. No, I think, again, like you mentioned about trading one pair there, that you mentioned just before that about overtrading. I think that can be one real solution for traders. If you are finding that you are trading too much and you are overtrading, you're placing too many positions, trading one pair can really help you to limit that, because you're not looking at multiple markets, you're not seeing opportunities all over the place. If you're just focusing really on one pair, really finding the best opportunity, that can really help, because I think that is, in terms of, things that people struggle with in trading, I think overtrading is up there with one of the biggest. So yeah, I think that's a fantastic point as well. So lastly, before we wrap up the interview, do you have any kind of improvement points for us? Is there anything that we can kind of do better in terms of the service that we're providing with our funded accounts?
I would say the profit split, but at the same time, on the business side of it all, because of you guys taking all of the risk and then the fees and everything, I think it's fair.
Yeah.
And the only thing I would say, it's when it comes to the community of traders, I tried to be part of it, but for some reason, I don't think it's not active. So that's the only thing.
Okay.
I don't really see. I mean, I could see you guys could improve on. That's the only thing. Okay. But yeah.
Brilliant. Understood. Well, Jimmy, thank you once again for joining us. And again, congratulations on hitting your target. 17 days is very impressive, especially for your first target as well. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be sitting down for another interview with you when you progress from the 30K up to the 60. So thanks for your time, Jimmy. And yeah, looking forward to hearing from you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Okay, bye.